Hi there, campers. It is Camp Counselor Julie for our last activity session at the craft hall. I'm so sad. How can it be day 7 already? We had so much fun this week. I hope you have enjoyed it. So we're just going to give it a few minutes for some people to join, to make the campers make their way from Camp Counselor V's session to my session here on Facebook and eventually on YouTube. So welcome in, camper. Ooh, hit the wrong button on Facebook. Oops. Hi there, welcome. Hi, campers. Happy Saturday, July 26th. Holy smokies. Time is flying by. Right? Welcome in, everybody. Camp Counselor Julie here, ready to go. Hola, Jeanette. Hello, Vanessa. Hi, Bally. Girl, I already went Bally. I got my Dunkin'. That was part of why I was late. I was running my errands. So Bigfoot is patiently waiting for you to finish so you can go grab Dunkin' Donuts together. I love it. I hope you have been enjoying all the sightings of Bigfoot, and Rick James is becoming a star. Rick James is Nathan's dog, if you haven't seen all the photos. So we're just having a little fun at Flower Camp, and we hope you're enjoying it. Welcome in, Grace. Hello, campers, Veeples, J Crew. We are super excited, but also super sad because this means Flower Camp is coming to an end today. And how could it be a whole week already? It's crazy, isn't it? Sorry for my hand. I am a little congested. The humidity, the storms is driving my allergies crazy. So anybody hear any rumors around camp since our last session? We hope you enjoyed all the gossip we've been hearing, our adventures with Bigfoot, who found his home here at Flower Camp in Pennsylvania and beyond. Good afternoon. Hi, Sharon. Welcome, everybody. We're super excited you're here. So we'll just give it another minute or two to allow some additional campers to stroll in. And if you didn't catch Forever Petals by V, Camp Counselor V, with her gorgeous pink, white, or cream and brown flower, it was stunning. We hope you loved that tutorial. Keep that enthusiasm here for our last session. Again, I'm hyped up now on my cold brew, so I should be good. I did sneak off of campgrounds last night for a little bit. Don't tell anybody, all right? Nathan says, well, LOL, I guess we made Bigfoot feel welcome. I think we did. I think he wants to stick around. I don't know. Maybe he's just going to show up every now and then. He might be disappointed after this week, but maybe he'll pop into Halloween Spooktacular. So as summer comes to an end, we get to move into spooky season, my favorite time of year. I know a lot of my campers also agree. So look for more information coming soon about our Halloween Spooktacular event on Facebook with my friend Forever Petals by V, or our camp counselor, and a very merry Makers Weekend as well. So we love our collaborations, and I hope you do too, and look forward to them every year. It is a super busy time then the next few months with all of our events. So thank you for staying tuned. If you are local to the Pennsylvania area, or you want to take a drive, we're making some sunflower workshops. I have 2 of them, August 9th and the 23rd here in the Reading area. So once camp ends probably on Monday, I'll post all of that information. Oh my God, breaking camp news. Nathan says he heard Bigfoot and Rick James were into some big shenanigans last night. OMG, I cannot wait to see what they've been up to. I'll be sure to check the security cameras. So welcome in. We are going to be using Flower Camp 2025 Template 10 Mini Flower. And we're going back to our mini flower. We made one on Sunday last week, Wednesday this week, and now we're finishing out. So this is our new template for this year, for 2025. So we are going to be using petal number 3. So I was looking for all my sheets with everything. So for Template 10 Mini Flower from Flower Camp 2025, it comes with 3 centers, 3 leaves, and 3 petal designs. Okay, so we're going to be using petal 3 today, center 2, and center 3. Okay, so petal 3, you're going to cut 3 at 3.75 inches wide by 3.57. Enter the width, the height automatically adjusts. Then for center number 2, you're going to cut 2 at 2.75 inches. Type in that width, the height automatically adjusts. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, we're using petal number 2 as our sepal. Super fun. You're going to cut 1 at 2.5 inches wide. And then our center 3, you're going to cut 3 at 6.71 inches wide by 0.9. This is the same size we use for our other flowers. And we're sticking with the same theme, the same colors I've been using all week for our mini flowers. Hi, Christy. Welcome in. Hello, friends, campers, Meeples, J-Crew. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Saturday. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you're watching. We truly do appreciate it. I am closing out Flower Camp 2025 for our last craft activity session. Hi, Belen. Welcome. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so the paper I'm using is by PrintWorks DIY. There's 3 colors. We're using cream, goldenrod, and the green. The cream and the green, how's that for a mouthful, are available in the earth tone cardstock pack. Or you can use the green from Floral cardstock. And my goldenrod color, which is here, and the cream are also available in one of my favorites, is Boho Rainbow. You can purchase this from Amazon, and we do have a code for 15% off eligible products in their Amazon store, so I'll be sure to post that. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Hi, Jennifer! All right, so our other tools we're going to be using today. We need our flower shaping mat of 1/4 inch soft foam mat. I already cut my wire to a smaller piece so I don't poke you in the eye. So I just need my needle nose pliers, some floral tape, our slotted quilling tool, embossing stylus. This is available from your local Dollar Tree, as well as the piercing scoring tool. It comes in a set of 2. We're using the wider one. And I was trying to figure out the settings of why my phone keeps changing and zooming in, and I could not figure it out at all. So apparently Bigfoot and Rick James, something happened with a golf cart, and then Jeanette says maybe a disco ball. I'm not so sure. We need a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. We're going to roll our smaller petals, our metal ball stylus, and we just need 1 dowel rod, our 3/16 inch blue dowel rod. We're using our SureBonder mini glue gun, which is perfect because it folds up, and our 8-inch Gorilla glue sticks. We're going to be using some ink. Again, I'm going to be inking them very similar to the colors that I've been using all week. So Villainous Potion. Ooh, nice dark purple. Fossilized Amber. And for our sepal, I'm going to use a little bit of forest moss. A little bit of ground espresso. You can also use walnut stain. And last but not least, I like on my sepals a little bit of seedless preserves. So thank you and welcome in, campers. We're hoping you have a fabulous Saturday, and thank you for joining us at Flower Camp 2025. So the first thing we're going to do is add some embossing lines to a few of our items. So petal number 2, which we're using as our sepal, we cut it in green. It's 2.5 inches wide. We're going to add our vertical lines. So I'm going to take the wider end of our embossing stylus, and I'm just going to draw on some veining or vertical lines. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and do that to all of my petals of my sepal, or in our case, we're using petal number 2. So just draw vertical lines to add that texture. And we're going to do that exact same thing to petal number 3, which is our main petal for our flower today. So you can place it on your mat and you literally just draw vertical lines. So it's going to add some texture. Bobby Joe, I personally I have a local craft store in the part of Pennsylvania where I live. We have a bunch of scrapbook stores or craft stores locally owned. I do purchase from one of them. I do have them in my Amazon storefront, so it all depends if you have those local like card stores. Just because of the area I'm in with the Amish and Mennonite area, we do have quite a few stores. That's where I normally purchase mine once a year. Now, once you get them, they do offer, you can re-ink them. So like my forest moss, I do need to re-ink it. So you can just buy then the little bottles to re-ink your pads. So if they do dry or you notice it's running out, you can simply buy the bottles. So like I have some black soot because I use that at Halloween a lot. Okay, so again, you're just adding those vertical lines. Just draw lines to give it some texture. Hi, Tina. I know, Carolyn. It's so sad. It's day 7. And thank you so much for going on with this. You're very, very welcome. It's been quite a week, an emotional week for me. But I'm glad I continue to do it and carry on our tradition. And I'm glad Camp Counselor V and Florist Explorers, our fearless camp director, could do 2 tutorials, and we got to see our camp director this week as well. So we're going to just draw those vertical lines. Okay, we're doing that to all 3 of these petals. So we're doing that before we add any ink. So just go back and forth adding those vertical lines. We want to add some texture. She's an elongated petal. So we needed to give her some little extra beautification. I know, Carolyn. Isaac looks so good. I know. I'm so happy to see and talk to him. Makes my heart happy. Even B. I don't get to talk too much right now. All right. Now that we did that, we can come back through and ink everything. So I'm going to put down a piece of copy paper. I'm just going to use the green. So I have clean hands, so here we go. For our 3 centers, for one of our centers, welcome in Camp Counselor V. Thanks for coming by. Stopping in and hanging out with us. Your flower was so beautiful, and I love the color theme of the fuchsia, the cream, and the brown. It reminded me of those coconut candies, and I don't know, I could be dating myself. They're pink, cream, and brown. They're so good. Little brown coconut candy. Oh my God. So for one of our centers, we're just going to brush on the Villainous Potion just to the tips. Okay, so it's just adding a little bit of color there. Flip it over, and we're going to do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. So if you don't want to ink, that is perfectly fine. You can use any color story. I'm just keeping with my theme this week of the purple, yellow, and cream. So one of our centers of center 3, you're just going to do the tips. Our next center, we're going to do from the tip down, but not the entire petal. So first I'm just going to brush it on. I'm still using my same applicators I've been using. I have 2 of them for the purple right now. So continue to use them. Yes, Pat says, campers, before we all leave and break up for the summer, we need to pass around our notebooks for names and addresses and phone numbers. LOL. I love that. And Sharon says, yes, she remembers those candies from the open bins in the grocery. Yes, it was Brock's. Absolutely. Hi, Esther. Thank you so much for joining us, campers. What a week it has been, and I'm super thrilled to be here with you for one last session. I hope you enjoyed it. You had a lot of time with me. Now I'm just going to brush lightly downward. just want to make this a little super duper dark at the top. So we're going to flip it over and do exactly the same. So again, you're just doing the top portion of the petal. There's been lots of rumors flying around camp. We hope you enjoyed that little bit of gossip that we've been hearing. We have different sightings of Bigfoot who thinks he's now one of our campers, along with Rick James, Nathan's dog. So we hope you enjoyed all of our fun and shenanigans happening here. So again, we're just doing the tips, and then you're just going to lightly brush down. You can do different colored centers, so I'm just here to inspire you. You can take what I'm teaching you and run with it. All right, so first one we did just the tips. This one we're doing color from the top down. And now our third one we're gonna do from the bottom up. Crazy, isn't it? I have to think how I do it. So play around with your ink, find your favorite color, and then just start playing around with it to experiment how you like it. Once you start, I promise, it's very hard not to. We are so excited you're here. We were so happy to have Camp Counselor be here, and I apologize for being so late. Apparently that rumor may have been true, where I was behind my cabin scene with somebody. And then lightly brush up. This is where I get my purple fingers from then. I went out last night for dinner with some friends and had a few drinks off of the campgrounds, and they were laughing because I had purple fingers. All right, now we're going to come through, do the opposite side. And don't forget, you can continue the love for Flower Camp again by sharing, watching our videos. We will be, I'll be making a playlist on YouTube. You can continue the fun. The templates will continue to be 50% off, as well as all the previous year's templates. Because if you missed it yesterday, I did a mashup and took and used a template from each year's flower camp to create one flower. So we're keeping it a little bit more simple here today. So you're starting from the base and you blend it up. And now you can just brush some ink on the tips. So just hold it along that straight edge and brush it on. And I just had a flashback to Grease, where she does the brusha, brusha, brusha. Jeanette, no, I'm not wearing a turtleneck today. That is hysterical. Oh my God. Alright, and then we're going to do it on the opposite side. Oh my gosh. These bunch of campers are crazy, and I love it. You make my heart so happy. Esther says Julie's already not simple. I know. Alright, so let's do our petals now. So this is a lot of purple, so we're just going to fold this over. Oh my gosh, campers, my shred bin is like overflowing. with paper from cutting all of our flowers petals. All right, so for our 3 petal 3, circular motion in the center. I'm going pretty heavy, and then you're just going to brush out. So because we added those embossing lines, it almost looks, well, it is like ridged and textured, so now you get to see that, and that's what I like about that technique. Okay, flip it over. Carolyn says we know what goes on behind the cabins. I know. All right, circular motion and then blend it out. Now we're going to go around the edges. So starting from the base out towards the tip and go across the top. And we're going to do that all the way around for all 5 petals. Because this is such a fun shaped petal, we want to highlight the shape. Okay, so now you can see this is getting a little chewed up, so I am going to get a new one. I think Chewbacca might get upset about Bigfoot hanging around camp. Now we're going to start from the center and blend towards the tip. Or come down the outer edge, sorry. I'm all messed up. Can't talk today. Beautiful, flip it over and then we're gonna go around the edge. So again, I start at the base, go around the tip. And now we're going to go from the center out towards the tip. So I find it's quickest way to ink my petals. All right. So there we have 1 petal. Now we're going to do our next one. We're going to do that exact same technique, circular motion in the center, and then blend out. Okay, flip it over, circular motion, and blend. Christy, it's a little too hot to be wearing a turtleneck. Alright, and then we're going to go back through and outline our petals or highlight the shape with our ink. Are you loving the color combination of the cream, our fossilized amber, and our purple villainous potion? I'm loving it. I'm glad I decided to go outside of my comfort zone and use these colors. Flip it over and we're going to again go around the edge, ink the edges. Okay. And then we're going to come down from the center towards the tip. Thanks everyone for hanging out. It is day 7. What? I cannot believe has gone by so fast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Circular motion and blend. Okay, flip it over and we'll do the exact same technique. One of the landscaping crew was just in here. Sorry if you hear a garage door and the air conditioner is on high, because it's a scorcher here. Okay, now we're going to go around the edges. Keeping up with that technique to highlight these beautiful shape of the petals, and now from the center towards the tip. And then flip it over. And again, we're just going around the tip. So the whole thing, yes, we're doing inking. You don't have to do the inking again. You can skip this part, but I definitely would add the vertical lines for texture. To add a realism to the flowers, that's why I choose to ink sometimes. It depends on your client order or what project you're working on, not for. Oh, sorry, it's the camera. My eye just itched. I was trying not to touch it. All right, then for these petals, we're going to add our little bit of fossilized amber, just like we did our other days. So I'm literally just going to do one line from the center out towards the tip, just to add a little bit of extra coloring. Okay, so let's go back. Look at these fingers. Oh my gosh. I was gonna go get my nails done, but I don't think I should. My regular lady, Miss Patty, is visiting her country, and I'm not sure how the other guy will react. She giggles. That's the first thing she always does. Check my fingers for ink. Okay, flip it over. And again, we're just brushing out from the center a little bit of yellow for highlights. It does match my nails, so we're good. Nathan says it's awful here, so be sure to head to the pool. Campers, if you didn't want to head off of campgrounds after we're done today, we do have a social for an end of camp social, but then you are welcome to swim on the campgrounds if you didn't want to go home yet, because we understand. Ah, thank you, V. The details are everything. I try, my friend. All right, so then for our center 2, we're just going to add some purple from the center and blend it out a little bit. If I can get the center off my mat. So again, with our villainous potion, whatever purple you want, you could use seedless preserves. So don't invest. Pick a few or 2 or 3 that you would think you would use a lot. The vintage photo is a gorgeous color with white flowers. So if you happen to do a lot of wedding flowers, vintage photo Ground espresso or walnut stain are a great combo with the seedless preserves. You know, just pick two and begin working with them. I did the whole wedding last year in September with the vintage photo. You saw a flower camp last year, flowers were white. That's because that's what I use for my wedding client. Okay. So we're just brushing it out, flip it over. Circular motion and then blend. When time permits, this is what, like, play around. Don't be afraid. No flower is ever perfect out in nature, and that's the beauty. And, you know, you'll find your style of inking or not inking, your what you like best color flowers to use. You see my favorite colors that I like to use. But again, I wanted to try a little bit different. It's a little bit stressful going out of the comfort zone, but definitely try it. You'll be amazed by the results. And if you don't like it, then you know it's not a color you like to use unless the client wants it. All right, now that we did that, we're just going to highlight some purple on the tips. So for the scalloped ones, I want to make sure I get a little bit on the sides, just to highlight down to there. Oh, thank you so much, Christy. And Christy Philhard, she loves, loves, loves all that. I know. I said that yesterday, Nathan, when I was going out with my friends. I'm like, it looks like I was hanging out with Grimace. That's exactly who I thought of. Flip it over, and we're again add a little bit of color to the tip. Who else is sad that we're coming to an end, but we still have a little bit of time as I finish my flower? It's amazing how fast the week goes. I truly did miss hanging out in Texas with all of you. It was hard. I struggled with that. As we know, I'm an emotional person, so we're going to add again to the tips our purple. So definitely take the time, experiment with your inking. I would love to see the color combinations you're making with our mini flowers from Flower Camp. So again, it's just hitting the tips on both sides. Whoop. And then lastly is our sepal, which is petal number 2. Ooh, excuse me. We're going to use some forest moss, ground espresso, and seedless preserves, my favorites. So again, we already added our vertical lines with our embossing stylus. Now we can come back through with a little bit of green. Oh, Esther, sad. Carolyn, sad it's ending. So's Christy Caldwell. Yeah, me too, friends. I don't want to cry yet. We'll save that for the social. I did cry already today. I won't lie. Okay, flip it over. And I'm adding this basically all over my petal. Again, we want some different color variations. That's why I do that. And then I like to come back through with some ground espresso, which makes me think I should have a sip of my Dunkin'. True, Nathan. We will be back together before we know it for Halloween Spooktacular. What? Now I'm going to add a little bit of brown and then brush on the ground espresso. And then you want to go hit those tips of this petal. I need to experiment with this petal for a full flower. Our next tutorial here on PhotoFabPaperFlowers will be on Thursday to allow Camp Counselor Julie to recoup. She may or may not be campers gone or camp counselors gone wild tonight. I'm just kidding. I do need to rest a little tonight. So we are just going to brush that on the tips. We hope you have so much fun. Did you get your templates yet? Large template 10 from V's Etsy shop, and then mini flower template 10. Super duper fun shapes. And lastly, we like to add a little bit of seedless preserves. Pat says she doesn't know what she's going to do with herself next week. I know, Pat. As most of you know, I was moonlighting all week at my day job. I did take Wednesday and half a day yesterday to focus. So that leaves me some time that we can take off maybe for Halloween Spooktacular, maybe travel a little bit. So we will see. But thanks for joining Flower Camp 2025. What? The swag is coming in. I think most of it should be delivered on Monday. The rest of it. So stay tuned. You're gonna love it, I swear. I'll be sending you a bill. Nathan said he's got to work my usual corner to pay for Rick James's damages at Flower Camp and Bigfoot, because apparently Rick James attracted Bigfoot. Wait, yes, Bigfoot is waiting for me by the counselor pool. Yes. All right, friends. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Let's style. So let's bring in our, what do we need? Just the blue 3/16 inch dowel rod, coastal blue. And we need a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. So for our 3 petal 3s, 2 of them you're going to stack. Place that blue dowel rod down, pinch it up, and roll. And thank you so much for all your paper flower tool orders. They are all in the mail. I dropped the last one off, which was another reason I was late for V's session. Now we're going to flip this one over and we're going to roll it up. I flipped it over because I added the lines on the other side and I wanted to see them, and this one is going to be assembled with the petals rolled under. Hope that makes sense. So we're going to put our blue 3/16 dowel. Nope, we need it for our petal. Sorry. Pinch it up and roll. I knew there's one other petal. So for our sepal, which is petal 2. We're just rolling it up. I just made my notes. I won't forget that. All right. So for each of our centers, one of them we added purple villainous potion just to the tips. Again, we're going to individually roll or pinch around the wire to shape our center. So very carefully, we're just going to work our way down. You literally can place it there and pinch it around. If you don't have a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire, you can use a toothpick. Oh, friends, thank you so much for the laughs. We are super excited to have V here in the comments. Camp Counselor V, you are amazing with your large paper flowers. And those centers, oh my gosh. Pinch around the wire. Individual petals. Yes, friends, individually. So it's going to create some texture, making our center wider. Now we're going to go again. The second center, we did the purple at the top and blended it down. Pinch around. This is probably the most part where you need your patience. I have patience for paper flowers, and sometimes not with vinyl, if you do work with vinyl. And don't forget, we're going to have an end of camp social immediately following this. I'm not sure, V, do you want to do your page? Because when I looked back at our video, my camera keeps zooming in. And I tried to find the settings why it was doing that. So we're just rolling each individual petal of our center. Now, if you have the mini flower, you definitely could use the center in the large paper flower. So this week, while Camp Counselor V was away, I did make a lot of 3 large paper flowers where we incorporated the mini flower as the center. So be sure to check them out. Thank you so much. And we're just pinching around the last center. We started at the bottom with the purple and blended out. So don't be afraid to use ink on like yellow paper. I use yellow ink on purple paper. Have some fun. And thank you. I'm the queen of these mini flowers. Aww. You're all making me blush. Do you think the kitchen staff went home here at camp? It's Camp Counselor Julie. It's in time for lunch. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Yep, we're rolling the center petals. Thank you. You definitely need patience for this part. And there we go. And your fingers may look like mine. Lastly, we need to do our center 2, and individually I'm going to roll these up as well. So you're just going to roll around the petal. So I'm right-handed, so my curl comes more in from the right. Okay. Ooh, so pretty. And then our last center. So when I made my sample with all the inking and not chit-chatting, it was about 30 minutes. Carolyn says her hubby brought in fried pies for dessert. What is a fried pie? That sounds amazing. What? Y'all need to come here to PA and we'll take you to Shady Maple Smorgasbord. For all the Pennsylvania Dutch food and whoopie pies. All right, we're going to prepare our floral stem wire. So I did cut mine down. You're going to place it in between your needle nose pliers, bend it around like a hook. We're going to squeeze it shut. So place it back in, straighten it out a bit. And now you're going to place it back in between the needle nose pliers and bend it 90 degrees like a corner. Let's assemble our center. So we're going to start with the yellow. So we're going to put them in order, and then we're going to do the purple tips. Maybe I should do it this way. And then purple from the bottom. So we're going to start with just the yellow with the petals facing up, meaning we rolled them up. We're going to thread it into our slotted quilling tool. That's the hardest part, even though I have my glasses on. Roll it a few times towards yourself. And then we want to add our hot glue. Okay, keep rolling towards yourself. I'm going to secure the end with hot glue. Oh man, I placed an Amazon order and I could have ordered more gloves. That's what I forgot to do. Pie filling in a pastry that can be fried or baked. He brought in chocolate, peach, apple, lemon, and coconut. That sounds amazing, Carolyn. Oh, hand pies. So yes, we will go live on Forever Petals by V's Facebook page for our end of camp social immediately following here. Our second center, the petals are going to be rolled up or facing towards you, purple from the tips down. So we're going to add enough glue to make one rotation around or more. Go to where the last one ended and slightly overlap. And secure the end with hot glue. Why did we ink different ways? For that reason. You can see it has a little bit of purple, and then it has darker purple. Then we're going to take our third center, petals rolled up, facing towards you. Purple is from the bottom out towards the tips. Add enough glue along the bottom straight edge to make one rotation around that base or more. Go to where the last one ended, and you can overlap slightly. Roll towards you, keeping that bottom right edge aligned. I'm going to add a little bit more glue in the middle there. Roll towards you. Now you can see how it created different effects for your center. We're going to remove it from the slotted quilling tool. We're going to take one of our center twos with the petals rolled up. We're going to pierce the hole in the center. You're going to thread it onto your 18 gauge floral stem wire on the underside of your wire loop. You're going to add some hot glue. Pull it all the way through. And let it be secure. Okay, so we're going to set that there. We're going to take our metal ball stylus for the other center two, roll right around where the petals meet the base. We're going to add some glue to our center on the bottom, and I'm going to go a little bit around the sides. Just be careful when you glue this in here. Now, it's probably easier to look at it from the back. Fold them around. and you want to press them down so they stand up. Okay, now we can fold these up. We're going to add glue to the bottom and go a little bit around the sides there, just a little. I'm going to look at it from the back side, and I'm going to attach it with those petals in between. And fold up. Oh, thank you so much, Jeanette, for all the purple hearts. Grace says that center is so pretty. Thank you. Thank you, V. She says it's gorgeous. Thank you, friends. So again, crazy center petals, inking adds all the fun to our paper flowers, and the possibilities are endless. So don't be afraid. If you don't like it, you can hide it in an arrangement. Don't throw it out. All right, we have three petals of petal 3. 2 of them are rolled up and 1 is rolled under. We're going to pierce a hole in all 3 with your piercing scoring tool on your flower shaping mat. Beep. Starting with 1 of the petals rolled up, you're going to thread it onto your 18 gauge floral stem wire. We're going to add some glue, so hold your glue gun and twirl your stem. So it's just on the bottom around there. I set it down and we're going to thread it. You can lift up slightly, it's okay. Yes, we appreciate all of you, as V says here in our comments, all of our campers who attended Flower Camp 2025, and please hang out with us for a couple more minutes after we're done over on my friends Forever Petals by V's Facebook page for an end of camp social where we can hang out, chat. Second petal is rolled under, so you're going to thread it onto your floral stem wire. We're going to add some glue, so hold your glue gun and twirl the stem. That's the easiest. Do a twirl, friends. Thread the petals in between the previous layers. So you can see I'm just flattening the petals a little bit. Oh my gosh, look at her. She is so spunky and cute. Last petal is rolled up. Thread it onto the floral stem wire. Hold your glue gun and twirl. Now thread it in between the previous layers petals. And press. Oh my gosh. Flip your petal number 2 over, which is our sepal. Pierce the hole in from the top. We always pierce in the way we're going to thread it, pierce the hole, how we're threading it onto our stem, because the paper, you can see, it's not easy to thread it through when it bunched up on the underside of it. I don't know how else to explain that. I'm going to fold up my stand here. Hold your glue gun and twirl, keeping it close to the wire. Okay, we're going to thread the petals in between the previous layer petals. So we went short, a small sepal. We're only doing 1. Again, we kept it a lot more simple. We didn't have a lot of layers, only 3, 4, 5, 6 petal layers, and then 3 rolled centers. Look how beautiful she is. Now we're going to take some floral tape. Now you can add leaves like we did last Sunday for day 1. Certainly fine. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I might sell it as one arrangement. So we're going to roll on that tape. We pulled to activate it. You're always at an angle when you're assembling it. Now that we got far enough down, we're going to slide it up to the very top so it meets where your sepal is. Continue rolling to cover your wire. Now to make sure they blend, this color blends pretty well with my color paper, but I still like, because we use some brown and purple, you can add some ground espresso right to your tape. And you can just turn it as you move your way down the wire. And that way we'll have the same coloring as your sepal that you use. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple just because, just randomly. And there you have a gorgeous flower. So let me just clean up. And voila! Isn't she so pretty? And again, step outside of your comfort zone with the colors. Not colors I have used a lot previously. And now you can shape them, pull them down. I can't wait to get some pictures outside with her. If it doesn't melt, it's a scorch out there. But thank you so much for joining. This is our last craft activity session, friends. You have been so fabulous all week. We made some gorgeous flowers, mini flowers. But again, I coordinated my colors to match. And we did some yellow. So lots of different colors. And purple in there. Oh my God. So thank you so much for joining. And we are going to head over to Forever Petals by V's Facebook business page for our end of camp social, friends. Oh my God. How is that? I know we're at the end, so we can cry together at the camp social. So we will see you over there in just a minute or 3 or 5. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much, campers. Bye.